Coming up tonight on YCU News, Putney, Vermont moves towards an energy savings plan. We'll hear from the exhibition director at the Monshire Museum. Rental units are to be inspected in Springfield, Vermont. For more local news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCU, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region and central Vermont. News, sports, weather, public affairs, and all that's happening in our area. The news on YCU, your local view.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for this Friday edition of YCU News. I'm Ashley Perkins. Tonight's the night that an energy savings plan that has been 1 year in the making becomes a reality. 588 solar panels are in place in Putney, Vermont. This community-owned solar garden offers residents who own or rent property the chance to get off the grid. Project leader Nick Zeiter says he saw other U.S. states with solar gardens. He wanted Vermont to be in that group. Any Putney residents who have an electrical account with Utility Green Mountain Power is eligible to participate. Residents will see on their respective GMP electric bills the amount of energy returned to GMP's power source. Putney's community solar garden is great for locations where there is not a steady amount of sun, says Zerter. Cost to participate is about $830 for one solar panel. Most people have more than one panel in the solar garden. Typically, it costs $10,000 to $15,000 to buy and set up a solar panel for residential use, Zeiter says. The Putney Solar Garden is on private property. Zeiter worked with the Clean Energy Collective and Integrated Solar to bring his plan to where it is now. To learn more about the Putney Community Solar Garden, visit www.easycleanenergy.com. It will be the Vermont State Fire Marshal's office that continues to inspect rental units in Springfield, Vermont. Springfield residents decided Tuesday that the town does not need a rental registry ordinance. 376 voters chose to repeal the ordinance adopted this spring by its select board. That compares to the 339 people who voted to keep the rule in force. Landlords who spoke at Monday night's public hearing said the laws calling for rental unit inspections already existed. New rules would cost time and money for the city staff, costs that could be passed down to the tenants the rule aims to protect. The path that led to the Tuesday's vote began in May. The town's select board enacted an ordinance mandating the listing of all rental properties by address and number of tenants. Landlords and building owners would need to have units they rent pass a fire and safety inspection every 5 years. In the end, voters chose to repeal the May law, opting to remain with the state's current rental unit safety inspection plans. This story goes out to the civic and quality-minded shoppers who love a bargain. Save the date. September 7th is the annual indoor yard sale at St. Mary's Gym on Claremont's Main Street. The event runs from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it's more than just a sale. Proceeds from this yearly event help many people in Claremont and beyond. Local high school students are required to complete community service projects in order to graduate. Students help carry out shoppers' items to their cars. People young and less young who need furniture or home goods will find many affordable items from which to choose. Vermont State Police report that a 16-year-old driver apparently lost control of the 2009 Ford Fusion he or she was driving late Thursday night. The car crashed into a home on Route 113 in Vershire shortly before 11:30 p.m., police say. Speed is a factor into the cause of the crash, police say. The driver involved in the single-car crash was wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. The driver is not identified by name or gender. Police report that the driver lives in West Fairleigh, Vermont. The driver was taken to Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center in Lebanon, New Hampshire. There is no word on the driver's injuries. Thanks, John, and thank you for joining us for this Friday edition of YCU News. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at YCU Now for all the latest weather forecasts and stories. And you can watch our programs anytime online at www.ycunow.com. I'm Ashley Perkins for YCU, your local view. Good night.